Welcome to the CEO Crowd Show. I'm your host and coach, Rebecca Nesbitt, and today we're talking all about perfectionism. If you're someone who has labeled yourself as a perfectionist, been told by someone else that you're a perfectionist, maybe you've scrolled Instagram and you've seen either a reel or a carousel that you've thought, this speaks to my soul, and at the end, as the conclusion, it tells you you are a perfectionist, then this is for you. Perfectionism, I believe, affects us all. I've heard this term recovering perfectionist, and I love it because I do believe that once we get kind of blindsided by perfectionism, we all have to take time to recover from it. It seems like it's something that's increasing in popularity, and I'm not confused why. Like, I do believe that society sends us a lot of messages about how to be and who to be, and we're really taking it in and we're trying to be everything for everyone, especially as women, especially as entrepreneurs. And let's talk about it because it affects us all. And most recently, we started running ads as the CEO Crowd, which is an absolute gift. We're very fortunate. We have really strong organic marketing, and we're really fortunate that we can dip into this world of ads and see where it leads us. We're in a really great time right now where we can experiment with things like that. So I feel very grateful. But in this journey of running ads, you have to record the ads. Now, I am very happy with a static image and a caption going out. It feels fine to me. I'm very happy to post on my own Instagram, Facebook, be on YouTube, Spotify. These are all things that I've done a lot of and now feel really seasoned and can show up and be myself, and we're all good. Reading a script for an ad, very different. And probably for multiple reasons. One, because it's reading a script. Two, because there's this pressure put on this one piece of content because you're putting money behind it. Now, it took me probably 10 weeks before I recorded this one ad. And this is how the perfectionism started. Oh, I really need to paint my nails before I record this ad. I really should wait till next week and get my eyebrows done. I should wait till the week after because I'm getting my hair cut. I'm going to dye my hair. Oh, I can't record it now because there are roofers in our house and they're making a lot of noise and I don't want the background noise to be there. Then after the roofers left the window, people came and changed all our windows and they were making noise and everything was everywhere. This office was upside down. I can't possibly find a small corner to like take this ad. Then it was, I can't do it too late at night because there's no lighting. I can't do it too early in the morning because there's no lighting. And then we were traveling. I can't do it somewhere that's not my home because now I feel all out of place. And it just went on and on and on for like 10 weeks before I actually recognized, oh, I think this has to be perfect before it goes out, and it's not going to be. There's no way it's going to be. I never script. That's not something I do. So doing it for the first time is obviously going to feel scary, and it's going to feel like I can't get this perfect because I've never done it before. So when I recognized perfectionism had come a knocking and I had been ignoring it because it doesn't present itself straight away. You're not like instantly, oh, this is perfectionism. It whispers until it shouts. And when I recognized it, I thought, oh, this is a problem. So coaches have coaches. I went to my coach and I said, I'm really struggling with this. Perfectionism has come a knocking again, and I'm frustrated because I've learned this lesson multiple times. And obviously, as soon as I noticed, I recorded the ad and I was like, it's going to be what it's going to be, yo. But I did want to really understand it. So I went to my coach and she said, perfectionism is a product of conditioning and trauma. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Perfectionism is a product of conditioning and trauma. Ain't that the truth? When it comes to the word perfect, I think we have to start with that. Then perfect is different for everyone. Yes, there are societal norms on what perfect is, but perfect in its exact definition really is a result of your conditioning and trauma, because it goes back to theory of mind. If you've never heard of theory of mind, the real basis is we all have a different definition of what words mean. So perfect to me and perfect to you are two different things, just like love to me and love to someone else might be totally different things. The household that one person grew up in, if, their parents weren't around and they only got love when they did something really good, right? They aced a test, they won a competition. Love is then very different because it's conditional to someone who never had to do anything to get love and attention, and love was unconditional. So perfect works the same way. We all have a different understanding of what perfect is based on our lived experience. This is what they call in the world of coaching our worldview. So it's based on your conditioning, who has had access to you, and what messages you've taken in as you've grown up, and potentially trauma that you've endured. And at the basis, or the crux of it, it's actually very similar for everyone, even though it looks different. The idea is, if I'm perfect, they'll like me. If I looked like a supermodel, they'd like my post. If only I said this during the sales call, then they'd buy. If only I had a better funnel or website or social media presence. Because perfectionism is born from a fear of rejection. If you're not perfect, they'll reject you. Then you'll be alone. And you'll have to fend off the saber-toothed tigers by yourself, because that's your primal brain kicking in. And it's very unlikely that things actually have to be perfect. I had a coach a few years ago. It was her birthday recently, so shout out to Lani Nalu and happy birthday. And she said to me, I can remember this so clearly, because I was working within her team. She'd been my coach, and then I had worked with her as part of her team, as a coach in her team. And she was like, Rebecca, they fucking love it when I fuck up. They love it. My clients love it because I'm human and I'm not perfect and I'm not untouchable. She's like, and I fuck up all the time. And she's just like the most honest and like brutally loving woman. And she's absolutely right. Typically, it's in our imperfections where people find this vulnerability and this connection, but we're so resistant to showing that we're real people. Because what if we do and they just don't like us? And that hurts. Because it's never a nice feeling to feel like you're not liked, right? So when perfectionism comes to take you out the game, it's nothing other than you getting a message about what your conditioning has been. So how do we then combat that? Because this is some deep, deep work. This isn't, just a business lesson. This is far deeper work. And I wanted to share with you two of the things that I do that really, really help when perfectionism comes in, aside from just doing the damn thing that I've been putting off, right? Then the first thing that I do is I need to surround myself with evidence of times where people have really had my back when I have not thought they were going well. So examples of this can be, over 10 years ago now, this is something I very rarely speak about, but over 10 years ago now, I went through a court case. And I remember one of my best friends from where I grew up had to speak in that court case. She was a part of it. She'd got all these messages and she had my back. And she showed up and she went and she gave her statement and she was honest. And it meant so much that I know that on my worst days, there's been someone there for me. And whether that was my friend, my family has done that too, My husband is there on every day, the good, the bad, the ugly, and there's plenty of the ugly days, that's for sure. He's there every day, every step of the way, supporting me. And I know that that's not accurate for everyone, that not everyone can look at their life and say, oh, I'm so abundantly supported. And I didn't feel like that for a lot of my life. I really had to go looking for those examples. So I would say dig deep for the evidence of on your worst day, who was there, who was standing by you, who sent you, even if it's just like a random person on social media that on your worst day you got this message from them and it was super, super kind. And you were like, I don't know where that came from, but God, did I need it. People have your back. There have been experiences of it. It might be harder to see them. You might feel like they're very outweighed. But if you sit and you think about them and you start to feel how supported you are or you have been in some areas in the past, then it can really help with this perfectionism because when it comes to running ads, to bring this all together, no one really cares how that ad does. It's me that wants it to be a certain way. I'm not going to lose friends or family over it. Very rarely do the things in your business add up to you losing friends or family over it, unless you're investing all of your time and energy and completely ignoring them and you're only running your business, which we don't stand for in this community, just FYI. So, like I said, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find that evidence. You can write it down, you can sit and meditate on it, you can think about it while you go out for a walk, whatever it might be. But give yourself that evidence of people having your back. You're not going to be rejected because something is not perfect. The people that love you, they don't care. And the second thing that I do and that you're going to do is you're going to cut yourself slack. Cut yourself some slack for being really hard on her. And by her, I mean that version of you that feels like she needs to be perfect all the time. Because she has an impossible task and she'll never measure up because perfectionism doesn't exist. And she's tired and she's tried really hard and she's exhausted and she's still trying to give it her all. And all you're doing is saying she's not good enough. And you are good enough. You are 100% good enough. You were always good enough. You were born enough. You live enough. You will die enough. You're enough. So if perfectionism has been creeping in, I hope this was useful. And I'd love to hear from you in the DMs, 100%. And also, if these concepts resonated with you, if these are conversations that you're like so down for, and you're an online business owner and you want to connect with more like-minded people, then we have an experience for you because that's what we do here at the CEO Crowd. We run weekly networking events that we'd love for you to come along to. The link will be in the description. And also, I know this is the deeper work, so my DMs are open at the CEO Crowd on Instagram. And until next week, CEO, we'll be over here believing in you.